Hey, all right. Let's see if we're up and running. I feel like the camera. There we go. The volume was a little off. It sounds much better. Let me check my signal here. See if we're live. And we're gonna get some work done tonight. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's loud and clear. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Let's drop that down. I'm going to do some social media posting really quick that we're geared up to go. Let me tell you what's going on here. So, my name is Phil Kearney. What's up? I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online. And I've been focusing a lot of attention on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition here for the past 7-odd years. I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a Magic the Gathering enthusiast since 1995. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999, and I've been creating I've been creating game content for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition on DMsGuild since 2017. I created the Color Mana Spell Point variant rules system that's currently on DMsGuild, and we are expanding on that with martial powers, so that all 13 character classes in the 5e D&D game engine is using the same mechanic, resource mechanic, which is mana. And the Color Mana Spell Point variant rule system would logically be using color mana, which we have 6 books currently published. Martial Powers will be number 7. We'll then have Spell Point Sorcerers as book number 8, and then Spell Point Artificers as book number 9. And if we decide to do anything from there, we'll see what comes with me, you know. Here, let me get my screen fixed here for you real quick so we can maneuver around inside this space together. Cool. So I'm on the X Twitter platform. If you're still here, I'm at Phil Kearney. You can catch me. I've got invites to playtesting. We have works in progress, illustrations that I've done, coupons to other projects that are completed, and just stuff. So this is at Phil Kearney, and likewise here on YouTube at Phil Kearney as well. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications of when I am live in the future. And here is the Discord channel sign up link for the Martial Powers playtesting. We're doing the Mega Dungeon from level 7 to 10. As soon as I can get a team of 5 assembled, then we'll be able to start delving through there, starting hopefully here in November at level 3, ending at level 10, probably at the beginning of May. Today we're going to work on adding power kits to Greenskin Soldiers, Undead Hordes, and Lizardfolk Tribe. These are the 3 factions that we have in the first Mega Dungeon that we're putting the characters through for level 3 and 4. We're going to be continuing to work on the Martial Power magic item lists that are available since we're creating gear. Here is the Martial Powers playtest document here through my Patreon channel. You don't have to be a member, but if you click the Martial Power button here, it takes you to a read-only Google document that you can tag along with me. There are 160 some odd pages in this, and this is the same document that I use and edit. When it populates, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yo, dude, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Where are you at? There you are. Right on. Same thing. So let's see. Oh yeah, and here's a slew of books I created. You can check them all out. They have extensive free previews. Spellpoint Warlock, Spelljammer, Combat and Exploration, Pacts and Patrons of Ravnica, Ability Check Casting Theurgy, as well as the Subclasses Revivified, which I was a participant in creating the remnant subclasses that were not put in Player's Handbook 2024, so we updated them, me and a crew of other people. I took care of the monks. And let's see. Oh yeah, and here's the 5 color mana spell point variant rule system itself on the DMsGuild. There's 6 books in total, and again, it's taking away the 8 schools of magic, replacing it with the 5 color magic system from Magic the Gathering, removing the Vancian spell slots and replacing it with a color mana point system as a 1-to-1 point ratio. A 3rd level Fireball is a red spell. It takes 3 mana to cast it. 1 point would be red. If you're just using a soft magic system, then it's kind of the same as what you're used to already. But instead of saying, yeah, I cast an evocation spell, here comes a Fireball, bitch, you would instead say, hey, I cast a red spell, here comes a Fireball, bitch. But if you want to play hard magic, you then define each point of mana in your mana pool to a specific color. And when you run out of that color, you can't cast that spell anymore. So if you're a 5th level wizard with 12 mana, has 3 of them, 3 mana devoted to red and a bunch of other colors, then you would be able to cast a total of 3 Fireball, assuming you only use 1 red mana for each. Some of the subclasses that we've created you know what? I have to scroll down there anyway and get to it eventually, so I may as well just show you these real quick. But since we got rid of the 8 schools and are using the color magic system from Magic the Gathering, the 5 colors are white, blue, black, red, and green. So the Druid of the Land, it doesn't make sense that we would leave them with the 4 Arctic and Arid and all the bloody ball options. Instead, lean into the color system and give them plains, islands, swamps, mountains, and forests, which means that we can give them a bunch of white spells that wouldn't normally be on their list, on a Druid spell list, right? A bunch of blue spells that aren't normally on a Druid spell list, black, red, green, all respectively. So, I mean, well, I guess some of the green spells are, but most of these are all wizard spells that they wouldn't have access to. And then, similarly, if we drop down here to the wizard, we don't have any schools of magic anymore, so the 4 subclass for the 4 schools of magic that are the traditions of wizard. Sorry, it looks like, there we go. I feel less smudgy now. Hey, so we get rid of we get rid of the 8 schools of magic. So that means that we need different traditions for the wizard, and there's no sense not giving them all 5. So that probably means that I'm going to pick my favorite subclass from all the other classes and add them in as a 5th as well, because there's 5 colors. A wizard can be devoted to like white magic or blue magic, etc. So, yeah, so I'm going to have to include a 5th subclass for all of the classes so that all of them have 5 instead of 4, which is great because we've already built out all the subclasses before. But now we're looking at the BX, the basic expert Beck-Me style of converting treasure to experience points. This is what we've spent the past few adventures sessions on, is how much experience do you need to get from one level to another. What's the challenge ratings that are involved with like the sort of monsters. So we figured out the megadungeon, all of the different types of creatures from CR half, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the scale, that's the range of CR that your team can realistically attempt to take on. And at 3rd level, and obviously it changes as you gain levels. So you have low risk, medium risk, and high risk encounters, and the amount of experience points. The experience points for the CR of the creatures are here, so you just add those up, and these are the benchmarks that you hit. We go back up to our full our full XP table. The amount of XP you need, number of low encounters, 6 for a group of 4 characters. To let's see, hold on. Yeah, because you need 300 experience points to get from 2nd to 3rd level. Oh, I'm sorry, we're at 3rd level going to 4th. So it would be 600 experience points that we need to gain. We have 600. We need to gain 2,700. So we have to. This is the amount of experience points that we'll accumulate to get to level 4. So I should probably actually have this like as 300. 600, 1800, like you have 900, you need 1800, you end up with 2700. I think that's a better way of writing this. XP total, you gain XP during 1st level, so yeah, 300, there we go. This is the way we should be doing it. Excuse the momentary pause here. And then the Beck-Me style of XP is that you don't gain experience points for overcoming challenges and fighting monsters. You get experience points for successfully extracting treasure from the dungeons that these monsters and traps are protecting. So they are obstacles. You don't get XP for the obstacles you overcome. You get XP for proving you overcome the obstacles by extracting the treasure. See, it's the old school style, makes you prove that you have defeated not just by killing the monsters. You don't have to kill the monsters. You can leave the monsters intact. You just got to get the loot. So if you can successfully get the loot, congratulations, you get the experience points. You don't have to kill the monsters. You can in fact make them allies. So it's easier for you to overcome more threats, get more treasure. So there's a lot of different ways you can play Beck Me. You don't have to just fucking kill stuff. Here to here, here to here. There. Plus 50k from now on. There we go. And XP gained. So it's 100. So you get 100 gold during the course of. And I gotta do this too. So I'm just gonna. God damn it! They're not on a table. Right. I'll just do a little bit. There, 3rd level, 4th level. So there's an amount of the amount of starting gold you get per level is provided in Xanathar's guide, or Xanathar's book of everything else, or whatever the fuck it's called. But the punchline is that it tells you how much gold you should have at each level. You have your starting gold, so you have no added treasure at level 1. And then by the time you get to level 2, you've accumulated 300 experience points, and you should have, on average, gotten about 100 gold pieces. So the Beck Me style of game is you only get experience points for gold that you extract from a dungeon and then throw away in town, to basically as a means of becoming an influencer and you want the town to celebrate heroes' arrival because they're going to disperse gold into the environment. They're going to make the town rich. So when heroes arrive and start dispersing gold, that's everyone parties. It's a great time. You gain renown and experience. And in the old Beck Me system, once you gain enough levels this way, you gained a keep. You would be offered. You're so awesome to our communities. We would like for you to be a permanent resident. And help continue injecting money into our system, and so that's how you get your dominion, or what Dungeons and Dragons, what Wizards is calling a bastion. But it actually had, it was actually, the reason you got it at 9th level is because you have so clearly become a legend in the area. Like 9th level is like, that's a legendary character, even if you can go to level 36. That's still pretty freaking powerful. In the Oriental Adventures book, you could get domain as early as 4th level. So I mean, but that was very much a part of the Oriental Adventures, and the older edition was to have these different forts or fortresses or bastions that you could participate in. So, and they had a reason to do it. It became a source of adventure. Being in charge of that location put a target on your back. As like, you know, if we take out that castle, not only get to loot it, but it'll be havoc here now. We can come in, we can loot all the communities that are depending on it. So you kind of put a target on your back by building a fortress here, saying, I am protecting this area. And it attracts higher and higher CR creatures as you create more and more of a threat. But those incoming creatures don't offer any experience for you. So when something comes at you and you defeat it, then that becomes, hey, where did this guy come from? Let's root it back to its source so we don't have a problem again. And so that would become your away missions that you started to engage in, because you would, you would want to venture out and conquer whatever trouble is out there, so that it wouldn't come back at you later on. So okay, so between those two things, the gold that you're distributing in town, and the experience points that you're supposed to acquire, for a third level character has 900 experience points, and for you to get to 4th level, you need to gain 1,800 more. You would, if you were a 3rd level character, you should have about 200 gold, and you should gain another 200. So that puts you at the total amount of treasure that you need to gain to get your experience points, and for you to get the amount of gold that you're supposed to have to reach 4th level, you need to have a total amount of treasure of 2,000. If you decide, if you don't find 2,000 treasure and you've emptied out the dungeon, time to go find another dungeon to get some more treasure. If you extract, say, 2,000 gold or 2,000 gold pieces worth of treasure, and you spend it all on magic items, you don't gain any experience points, you don't gain a level, but you now have more magic items. So when you go into a new dungeon, you'll be able to, or delve further into the mega dungeon itself that you're staking claim over to clear out. That's what we're doing here. Is this mega dungeon? It's an environment that's opened up that you want to get into, clear out all the evil, extract all the treasure that accumulates as a result of it, and basically stomp it out as a source of evil in the area and part of your expanding terrain. So that's the idea behind it. If you can conquer this area, you can have dominion over it, and we'll build you a fort, and you can have a keep and a bastion in this area and be the protector. So you would get 2,000 gold worth of treasure, which could be a mix of like magic, and magic items don't technically even count on this. Magic items are separate. By the time you get to 3rd level, you should have what, like 2 common and 1 uncommon magic item. So that's like 7 points of free mana that you can stack up on your character, or like, first rank. That'd be first rank of power. It'd either be a cantrip effect or first rank of power. There you go. Common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary. And then there's artifacts, which are technically the 6th category. But common items are cantrips, because there are only 4 ranks. There's only 4 ranks of powers, even though you can channel 5 mana at a time. It just means that you can always over channel whatever it is that you have up to 5. So common is cantrip stuff, then uncommon is first rank, rare is 2nd rank stuff, very rare is 3rd rank stuff, and legendary is 4th rank stuff. 4th rank stuff like indestructible and like frenzy, where you're like adding extra attacks to your attack action, stuff like that. Super high level stuff, very worthy to have at high levels. So that's our allocation, and then we should probably have our treasure. 1 common, 2 common, 1 common, 2 common, 0. 2 common, 1 uncommon. Just gonna build this out real quick, don't mind me. Oof, that's a big jump. What is it? 2 common, 2 uncommon, 3 common, 2 uncommon, 2 uncommon, 1 rare, 4 common, 2 uncommon, 1 rare, 4C, 3U, 1R, 4C, 3U, 2R, 4C, 3U, 2R, 1VR. Very rare. It's going to be 5 common, 3 uncommon, 2 rare, 1 very rare, 5 common, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 common, 4 uncommon. There we go. 2 rare, 1 very rare, 5 common, 4 uncommon, 3 rare, 1 very rare, 5 common, 4 uncommon, 3 rare, 2 very rare. It's getting warm in here. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how this continues. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 common, 4 uncommon. No, yeah, 4 uncommon, 3 rare, 2 very rare. A legendary item. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. So let's go through the process again. 6 common, 4 uncommon, 3 rare, 2 very rare, 1 legendary. 6 common, 5 uncommon, 3 rare, 2 very rare, 1 legendary. 6 common, 5 uncommon, 4 rare, 3 very rare, 1 legendary. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 6, 5, 4, 3. There we go. 6, 5, 4 R, 3 V, 2 legendary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. How many we got? 11. 11. 15, 20, 7 common, 6 uncommon, 5 rare, 4 very rare, 2 legendary, 13, 18, 20, 24. There. And just give you an extra one of all of them. That technically doesn't curve perfectly, but so let's take that a little bit more seriously. It would be 6C, 5U, 4R, 3V, 2L, 1A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4. Oh, did I have a double dip here? Six, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's 11, 15, 20. There we go. I would say, yeah, there we go. Half of these are supposed to be consumable. I can't imagine a legendary item being consumable, so I'm going to assume that the lower end of the common and uncommon items are what's going to be consumed. You can always throw them away to refund them. Yeah, nice smooth curve there. That's for every character. So if you have 4 characters, technically you're supposed to get 25 magic items over the course of 20 levels according to the Wizards of the Coast. But that also assumes that half of them are consumable. Sure. This would be 1 6 5 4 3 1 6 5 4 2 1 6 5 3 2 1 6 4 3 2 1 5 4 3 2 1 5 4 3 2 5 4 3 1 5 4 2 1 5 3 2 1. Okay, cool. That all curves out. That is proper scaling. So okay, great. Let's take a look again here real quick at the gold, the cost of magic items. Let's see. Total treasure per day. Magic. The amount of magic that it can digest is common, which is worth 100. Uncommon, which is worth 400. Rare, which is worth, what is it, 4,000? Is that right? I don't remember. Let's find out. Let's remember together, shall we? Treasure rewards. I like that rewards table. That's good. Let's see. That's... Beep, 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 beep. Magic items, magic treasure. I know how to break up my treasure. Thanks. Here we go. 100, 400. Yeah. Rare, 4,000. Very rare, 40,000. Legendary. I'm thinking. Hold on. Okay, so the amount of treasure that you need to disperse for you to gain experience point is going to be limited by the location that you're at. So you can parse it out over time. It's just the smaller the community, the longer it takes to parse. So settlement, 100 gold pieces per 10 days. And that's total. And this village, maybe we should have... 40,000, 400, 4,000. No, that feels pretty good. I should probably make it the same amount for both of them, don't you think? I like this scale because it works with the bastion system that we have. But that's not the value that they put in the book, and I don't know why they chose this amount. There's no explanation as to why they decided it cost this much. They just decided it should cost this much. Why not? I don't recognize this from 3rd edition, and 4th edition just gave you shit for free all the time. So it didn't even really need an economy make 4E run. I don't know where these numbers came from. I like the numbers being a little bit. Well, I can see how you would say, well, a common isn't like 10 times more powerful than an uncommon. I will agree with you there. So we can just go with these numbers. This is the largest amount of, like, a settlement wouldn't be able to compensate you. You can't get rid of something that's more than a common magic item in a settlement. You have to go to a village to be able to more readily unload common magic. But the best they could possibly do is an uncommon, right, on a regular basis. So if we were to put in here. Leave that at 100. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's just do this. We'll do that. And then I'm going to switch gears. There. Per 10 days. Yeah, and if I sync those up, I don't have to have the magic item listed. That's cool. Okay, that simplifies the table, so I'm fine with that. Here's what I really like about this is I had been struggling with the command system with the conversion points of gold pieces to resources. And for those that aren't familiar with the In Command of Guilds and Kingdoms, I don't blame you. It's been over a year since I've mentioned it, but it's still out there, and I'm running it in my own campaign currently. I could just I could crack the books on this with you here real quick. Hold on. Y'all haven't seen this in fecking ever. So let me fetch this up real quick. Thank you, Timely Timer. I'll give myself at most 20 minutes tangent here in the In Command system. And then we'll get, I have a couple things to say about random adventure design. And then we'll get back to building monster kits and stuff like that. So the In Command system, this is a read-only document that folks have access to on my Discord channel if you go down to the In Command section. This works around, this was based off of a book that Adam Hancock had published on the DMsGuild, which is from Balduran's Guide to Kingdom Building. Really cool book. It converts communities into a character sheet where it has 6 stats, and these are the 6 stats that Adam had defined for a medieval fantasy community. And so the idea is that as your community grows in size, you add in more buildings and infrastructure facilities that increases the capability of that community to be able to perform activities in each of these industries. And the way that it was resolved is that each point of resource would literally translate into a character stat ability score. So if you had a commerce of 15, the max is possible is 25. 10 as a human average with 10s across the board. If all of your industry is 10, that's like a town. It's like a moderate town. It doesn't have any bonuses, doesn't have any penalties. It can get stuff no easier, no more difficult than anything else, I guess. But like a 25 commerce, like Waterdeep, is probably like a 22 in commerce, maybe a 25. And it's like, yeah, if you can imagine it, we can find it. If it's not at least halfway insane, we're probably gonna be able to find it at a discount for you. Like that's the commerce power that Waterdeep has, for example. So the way that what we had done from there, of course, what we do is we take mechanical systems, deconstruct them, and then rebuild them into more versatile machinery. And that's not a slight on Adam at all. Adam's my editor. So Adam's my guy in this. He helped me build a Spelljammer combat and exploration book that's on the DMsGuild, and it uses some of these principles in that book. So that's how flexible the Guilds and Kingdom system really is. It's super fucking fat. So, but the idea was that as you gain with this system, there's instead of having your ability score be a direct number, the resources you gained as you accumulate more resources like renown, as your community gains more resources in a particular industry, the higher its proficiency becomes in that ability. So you take there's 5 ranks of community or guild, 1 from like a settlement and 5 to a metropolis, or like a guild would be anywhere from like a single proprietor shop all the way up to like a global organization like the Azorius Senate. The guilds of Ravnica, those are 5th rank guilds in a world that's basically ran by those guilds. Those guilds are the governments. So that's a good range of ideas there. So the way that you accumulate points is if you have 1 point of resource invested into your guild or kingdom, it's a guild or a kingdom. And then when you get 4 points, you upgrade to a second rank, which could be like a town instead of a settlement. And then when you get to 9 points, you upgrade again from a settlement to village to a town. And then you get another when you have 16 points, it upgrades from a town to a city. And when you get 25 points, it upgrades from a city to a metropolis. So 25 resource points. And so the idea was, what if we were to purchase, like with flat out gold, how much is the conversion cost of 1 resource point into gold, and how can we, how will we flip that back and forth? So, well, the idea then is, if we go back here, we're looking at the size. What's the amount of gold that a settlement can absorb? I could see a settlement, it needs 100 gold worth of, like, a farmhouse, for example. A farmhouse probably costs at most, if not less than 100 gold, plus the stuff that's inside of it, probably 100 gold. By the time that farm has accumulated 400 gold worth of resources that it can is invested in to reuse repeatedly every season, that's the start of a village, right? And it'll continue to accumulate points and amass in size. Each one of the resource points is worth 100 gold pieces. The 4 points minimum that you need for a village, that now each point of resource in that village is worth 400 gold, and you need a total of 9 of them to be able to evolve into a town. Once you have 9 resource points, you elevate from village to town, and now each point of resource that you have in that town is worth 4,000 gold. So to get from a town to a city, I would need to invest and expand on resources. So I could then spend, 9, 16, 7, 28,000. I could spend another 28,000 gold in resources to buy up the resources needed to be able to launch the town, to be able to grow into a city. Maybe it takes the number of resource points I buy with gold this way is the number of seasons is going to take for the settlement to expand in size. Otherwise, it could potentially take years. So that sounds fair. I like that. And then so you have 16 points at the city level. 16 times 40,000. That's going to be 4 times 8 is 32 times. 6 it's 24. It'll be 640,000 gold invested. Like basically, that's how much each point is worth. With 16, I need another 9 points, so that's 6 times. That's 600,000 times 9 more points. 6 times, that's 5.4. 540,000 experience points that we gold that we would need to sink into to be able to ramp the city to a metropolis. And once we get to a metropolis, each resource point of 25 and then beyond is worth 200,000 gold apiece. So if I needed cash fast, I could divest a point of resources and extract it from my guild to get a lump sum cash amount. This is the amount that I would have. I don't think it should be able to. I like the idea of adding a point takes time, while extracting the gold is immediate. So if you accumulate extra resource points over time, you can cash them out for ridiculous expenditures at the high end. Becomes pretty easy. So yeah, I like that. So that works. I'm very, very happy with that. And so that's just another piece of the guilds and kingdom system. It folds into the in commands of armies and guilds, which was the precursor of, which is the foot soldier version of the fleet mechanics that we have in the Spelljammer book that we built. What's over here? Oh yeah, here's the different actions that characters can take in the Spelljammer system. Playtest for the commands of squads and armies. Command of guilds and kingdoms. Based. It's been a while since I looked at this. Okay, cool. Yeah. More to come on this. I've been playtesting it with my home table since February. We've been running a Dominion style campaign where the team, the players are actually in control of a guild, and it's the guild's growth that they're actually interested in. But every 10 days they have another guild action, kind of like a Bastion actions every week. I just do things in tens. This is the way I roll. So every 10 days you have another like Bastion round or what we call the guild action. And so all your resources are invested into performing tasks. And then over the course of the next 10 days, your guild performs those tasks. If you succeed at the ability, again, it's just an ability check. So if you make the ability check, the higher the rank your guild is in a particular industry, the higher a proficiency bonus they get when they make the roll, the easier it is for them to hit tasks at the low end and the higher difficulty tasks they can attempt to achieve. So you allocate your resources to perform different tasks. For each task that the guild succeeds a die roll at, you succeed at that task and you progress whatever plot you're pursuing with that. It could just be maintain a lifestyle for my guild. And like maybe you want to maintain a comfortable lifestyle for your entire guild as an investment of your resources. And say you invest 4 of your resources into a 4th rank task. So you'll roll a d20 and you'll add 4 because of the level of the task. And then because you're 4th rank in say the loyalty industry, which is where you acquire your lifestyle from, then you would roll a 4th rank is a 10-sided die. So it'd be a d20 plus a d10 plus a plus 4 bonus for your rank. And that result, you would get, what is it? It's 1, 7, 13, 19, 25. Those are the 5, and then Squalor is 0. So, yeah, a 1 is squalid, wretched. 7 is squalid, 13 is poor, 7, 13. I feel like I'm off. 1, 7, 13. Yeah, 13 is poor. 19 is comfortable. That's not, something's off. Now this is sticking in my head. Sorry. This will be the last thing, and I'm going to move on. So here's all the different sort of tasks that your guild can perform and the general DCs that are involved with them. So let's go down to, now that we have the crafting rules for 2024, we can update these crafting rules using the gold scaling that we have, building structures, creating magic items, crafting table, espionage, counter-espionage, performing heists, robberies, seize or destroying resources from other organizations, sowing rumors to destroy their guild's loyalty, which erodes their renown. So here's how you restore renown. Counter-espionage is to prevent all sorts of horrible things from happening from your organization. It's basically like a parry roll that you get to make. And then, oh yeah, there we go, maintaining lifestyle. Wretched, nothing. 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25. There we go. Yeah, there you go. And that's the equivalent cost per day. All right, cool. So that's it for now. I'm going to tuck away this. You'll see more of this command system pop out on occasion as we once we finish the Eberron campaign. You'll see this pop out. Martial powers. All right. Okay. Oh yeah. One last thing. The other thing that we wanted to look at today was the Eberron random adventure design that I had been working on. I actually started this back in 2018. Believe it fucking or not. Let's go to book creation, 5D100 random adventures. You can see here these master documents go back to 2018. So it's been 6 years that this has been hanging out on my desk. Literally 6 years. But we got into a conversation about plot hooks, randomizing locations and villains and stuff. There's a real balance point. Hold on real quick. I'm going to do a timestamp here real quick. 45. Talking about random tables. Random adventure element tables. Cool. All right, so here's our here is my random adventures. Let's see. Do I have chain of events? 5D100. $10 billion adventures in Eberron is 10 Bay. The last time we worked on it was in October 2021. Holy shit. All right, let's check it out. Let's see. Let's crack this open real quick. I know what I want to talk about, but I want to see what this document has. Oh yeah, a random adventure design. Okay, so here's the idea here. Section 1. This is a book about creating about having random story elements, randoming them together into a bundle, and then building out like how to take those random elements and build out the premise for an adventure. And once you have that premise, how can we similarly build out all the elements of that adventure as a formulaic way of creating adventures, period. Like a formula, like a recipe for creating adventures. And I followed that recipe with the Crystals of Mabar adventure that I am illustrating in the mornings every day. It's a 103-page adventure. It's 50,000 words. It's for 7th and 8th level characters, and you're fighting necromancers and demons and undead in the Carnwood of Carnath on the continent of Corvair. Your characters are basically deputized to answer concerns from farming villages in the area that are like, there's weird stuff going on in the forest. Can someone please come and check it out? Your characters are deputized to go check it out, and you find all sorts of crazy crap. So the elements, and I took all of this. See right here. This section expands the 5 story element lists introduced in a Sharn story, which was in the original Adventure Eberron campaign setting. It was just a small sidebar. It was like, if you're in the city of Sharn, here's some adventure ideas. It was D6 locations. It was like D8 villains, D4 plots, D10 plot hooks, and like D6 twists to the plot. You rolled one of each and then you combined them together. I talked to Keith about this back in 2018. And he's like, yeah, if you want to do that, put on DMsGuild, go for it, man. Have my blessing. So I got the conversation. It's pretty brief. It was just basically saying, hey, I see that you guys had this thing in there. Do you mind if I gank that and really build it out? And he's like, yeah, go for it. That's awesome. All right, cool. So 6 years later, hey, Keith, still working. So here's the 5 elements: the hook, the villain, the plot, the location, and the twist. So this is for Eberron specifically. There's a big difference between just creating plot hooks and locations and stuff. The thing is that like if you use AI, it's going to create these exotic names that don't have any locations. They're just empty names that don't mean anything until you invest time to decide what those things mean. It's all you gotta do is press a button and it'll kick out a list, but now you're putting in just as much time. The only thing it gave you was, hey, here's a name for you, Casabloom. what do you think about the name Kaza Bloom? I'm like, well, I don't know. Let me fucking think about it for a while. So what'd you say? The elements awake at Kaza Bloom. Like, that's your plot hook. Thanks for the adventure nugget, AI. And now I need to think about, well, what are these elemental things, and what is Kaza Bloom, and how do I make this relevant to my characters? That's essentially what we're doing here with this, except that I created this before AI existed, so hey, bragging rights to me, break my arm, pat myself on the back. But this is specifically for Eberron. So the stuff that's happening in here is often referencing like, especially if we get down to we have a mix of vague and specific elements here, like a House Faerlin playwright is the villain, a sapient living spell escaped from the Mournland, a Lumian paladin from Irian, Aundare Dragonhawk Knights. Let's look at an Ashbound Zealot, a Talentan Mask Weaver. These all mean something inside of the game. You can look up what a Talenta character is and what a Mask Weaver is. What's a Karnathi? What's a Karnathi? You know, that's someone from the nation of Karnath. Vengeful Syrian refugee. Why are there Syrian refugees? It's because the nation of Syria got destroyed. So anyone that survived is a refugee. They have no home. So the Lord of Blades, of course, these all mean something in the game. And so, like, if we get down to locations, hey, I'm moving along my timeline pretty good. The location, these are all locations. This one's vague, inside the trunk of a massive tree, but there's so many places that have big trees, right? On a series of maze-like rooftops, sure. But let's get down into in a live wood grove in an Irian forest zone, manifest zone. That's where you harvest live wood from. A Formian hive that coexists on Eberron and Donvi. These are different planes of existence. Eberron is a home plane. Donvi is a plane of order where the Formian hive would be at. So, like, they've taken control of a manifest zone or something that allows them to move back and forth between Donvi and Eberron. That's an interesting thing. Githzerai Monastery, Fortress of Kithri. That's a location. A demi-plane being consumed by Mabar. That's your story. These are all different. Like, you can look up and research what these locations are. It's like if there's a fine art gallery ran by House Thrawn, if this is where the adventure is taking place, now you get to start thinking about House Thrawny politics because they're one of the major guild houses, so Dragon Mark houses. And then you combine them, like, you know, with a plot twist, like what's the fun one? The villain has the legal authority to complete their goal. You want to stop the villain, but they have the legal authority to do it. What are you going to do about that? What was your plot? Let's go up to plot hook. Oh, hell with it. I haven't done this in a while. But yeah, this is how we created the Eberron adventure that I've got in the morning. This is also, if you check out the playtest, the YouTube live play of the color mana system in Eberron, I used this random generator for that too. So you can check out all that shit. It's a really great randomizer, but it kind of assumes that you know how to build a campaign already. It becomes a lot more useful when you do. So let's see. I just rolled a 58. So what's my plot hook? My plot hook is the hero's childhood friend literally appears out of nowhere with a frantic message. That's awesome. Okay, let's start there. And depending on, you know, that could be crazy or that could be pretty common depending on, you know, what kind of people, like what level your characters are at, what kind of people they hang out with. Let's roll the villain. I'm just going to do a random roll here. I just rolled a 45. Charismatic half-ogre priest of the mockery. Neat. Whoop. Villain. Plot. 4. Kidnap children to fill the emotional void of having lost a child. Whew. And here, villains and heroes. So this is saying like this is the plot is for the villain to complete, which is kidnapping children to fill the void of the villain having lost a child. That's nasty. Like that's like a relatable villain thing to do, right? But that's the best villains. They have motivations that like make sense. Like I can empathize with why you would do that. It's a horrible decision, but I totally get why you did that. Let's go with a better solution for you. Something like that, you know? Maybe I'll bring your kid back from the dead. Where is this taking place? Some of the adventure or all of it, any portion of the adventure takes place in 70. At the docks of Adderport in Kabara. Holy shit. This is all just kind of making sense. Location, like they could be smuggling kids out of Kabara. Like that might be where they're getting their kids from. It's a charismatic half-ogre priest of the mockery. Murder cult. And what's the twist? This could completely flip things on their shoulder. Are you already starting to see? Like, I bet you're already thinking about like who this priest of mockery is. What children are they trying to claim? What kind of children are in Kabara, or maybe they're in Kabara. That's where they're taking their kids to, is a jungle fantasy land, right? Who knows? The twist is going to be percentile equals 18. The villain is actually a spy in deep cover. Oh. Oh. That's awesome. I ran a campaign like that in Dark Sun once. The team were halflings. They dressed up as children. They got hired by police to break up child pornography rings or child trafficking rings. And so what they would do is they disguise themselves as children, get kidnapped, and then they would slaughter everyone in there and they'd free the children. And then they worked their way up with the goal to work their way up the cartel to kill everyone, because all the players decided killing child molesters is an awesome plot. So we did that for a few months. It was fun. We all ended up getting killed by a fireball. Super neat. But yeah, so yeah, we have the heroes are like a child. Your friend literally appears out of nowhere with a frantic message. Maybe he was tracking the location of the priest of mockery, and the priest, in a defensive maneuver, teleported the hero away. This investigator, and that investigator is a friend of the hero's. So he's fighting the big bad half ogre, and he gets teleported away, or he gets banished. He gets banished and ends up in front of the player somehow, and or like a bland teleport. Who knows? He's like, shit, I was in the middle of fighting this guy. I need your help tracking him down. And then that gets you involved. Now you have him lead you the way, so you can beeline to the location, and then the heroes can take the initiative and figure it out. But along the way, it turns out this half ogre priest is kidnapping children with a front of, I'm building a new tribe of children, so I'm taking the brightest and smartest children that I can find and smuggling them to Kabara. But in reality, they're trying to, he's part of a sting operation to expose child pornographers as a mockery of their sin. So the mockery is that the half ogre is pretending to be this human this child trafficker, and all the while the whole plan was to get them to trust them so much that they reveal everything so they can sting and get them killed in vengeance. That sounds like a fun like if you wanted to be a good priest of mockery, it's very much like Rakdos. A good Rakdos character is somebody that calls corruption out to destroy it. Like Rakdos, the favorite thing a Rakdos circus could do is capture a corrupt Azorius Senate or a fallen angel of Boros and execute them in the name of their own hypocrisy. Like that's exactly the sort of stuff that would happen here. But if you're in an Eberron campaign, there's so many triggers here because we're using very specific language that is relevant to that campaign world, and all these things mean something inside of that game system. Even though I have some pretty ambiguous or generic sort of plot things, there's not only just taking the elements, but there's bending them so that they approach the material in from different angles, like very oblique angles, that gives the DM prompts to try to make, how do all these weird angles mesh together into a cool shape that we can build out as an adventure. So the problem with AI is that it's taking incredibly vague ideas and assigning very specific nouns and adjectives to those vague things, like rescue the Flameborn from Khazabloom. You know, it's like, I don't know what the Flameborn is. I don't know where Khazabloom is, or even if it's a he or her or whatever it is. Don't know why it needs rescuing. But like a more detailed components of a plot hook, this is starting to like craft ideas of a story, and every element that you add on to it further sculpts what stuff that's going to happen inside of you. You know where you need to go, or where you're going to find them eventually. You're going to have this big discovery at the end, and this sort of a plot twist launches your characters into a bigger mission. It's like, yeah, I was recruited to break this ring up, and now you just screwed it up. You owe me big. That locks your character in for like the next 2 adventures to help out and really dive into this space. Like, these are fun things you can do. I've done so many of these. I think it was back in 2021, pretty much when I was beginning my stream. I think it was the last time I actually looked at this. I'll see if I can go find that and dig it up for you guys. But this is coming down the pipe too. Once the Eberron adventure publishes, I'll clean this up and publish this as well. But the Eberron adventure that I'm creating was literally used with this same idea. And so if we scroll down past all these lists, we get into specialized theme lists, and then we talk about combining the elements. Like, how can you use these elements to do different things? You can create rumor mills and notice boards out of these things, out of curated lists. Here, let me show you a curated list real quick. Let's see. Where? I've got one here. Oh, Pirate Adventures. Here we go. So, specific out of those 100. Here's 10 that seem specifically relevant to pirate stuff. Like if I wanted to play one of the a Pirates of Lazar campaign, or a Stormhold pirate campaign, or fighting, or like the Tradesman versus Sahuagin, for example. There's a number of different ways you can, like different pirate themed campaigns you can run in Eberron really easily. And so here's 10 of them. I have a scale of 1 to 10 here, or a die roll of 1 to 10. Here's which number of villain they were on the master list. And then here's all 5 elements. So, like, here's an example: the Sargasso Shrine. The villain is a coven of hags exiled from Droam. What was that, number 7? Coven of hags exiled from Droam. Right. That means something, being in Droam and getting exiled from it. Hags getting exiled, it probably meant they tried to take a shot at the sisters of the daughters of Sorakel, and probably missed their shot. And instead of killing them, maybe they just banished them, because who knows when you're going to need hags someday. So, our random encounter here. A coven of hags exiled from Droam. The plot is to put a vengeful ghost's soul to rest. The twist is the villain attempts to escape from the heroes underwater. The location is on a galleon standing still in the Sargasso of the Barren Sea. And then the plot hook is refugees appear in the local area pursued by slavers. So we could piece all these things together, like the hags could be exiled in the Sargasso on the galleon so they can't leave. Maybe they're cursed to not touch water, so they're stuck there. The villain attempts to escape from the heroes underwater. The villain is the hag, so that doesn't work. Maybe they can't come out of the water, and so they have this galleon in the Sargasso. Like, there's all these boats that are sunk, so they can live inside of like buildings as sunken boats. So when a new boat comes into the Sargasso, they try to sink that as well. If the plot hook is to put a vengeful ghost's soul to rest, maybe they keep sinking. Maybe they can't. Maybe the Sisters of Sorakel cursed them so that the coven is stuck beneath the water until they can. Maybe they got banished because they killed one of the daughters, like one of the half daughters, but it was family. So you got banished, and now the coven of hags are stuck there until the spirit of that felled sister forgives them. So they're trapped there forever. So they're trying to accumulate more comforts by sinking boats that come into the area. Refugee appear in the local area pursued by slavers. Maybe they have minions that drag boats into Sargasso as a sacrifice. Refugees appear in the local area. So your characters get involved because they're saying that, yeah, they were kidnapping our ship and dragging us into Sargasso. There was weirdness. We were able to rowboat our way out. And now we're afraid we're being pursued so that we don't reveal the location. Well, before we get killed, here's the location. Go after them. Like, that could be your plot. And that'd be a decent, like, little 2 or 3 shot adventure. Not bad. Oh, look, I made up one. Yeah, aquatic minions. Underground. Ooh, cool. Not be trying to appease anything unless it offers some reward. Giving the hags a demon to appease would be better flavored. If the drowned maiden sounds cool. The minions are more mutant. Oh wow. Okay. Well, I'm not going to go into that. This is a tangent. But these are ideas. These are things that you can do. The whole point of this diatribe here that I'm going through was just to point out the value of taking time to have unusual angles and notice it, like to really play with the different elements. But I stole all of this with Keith's blessing from the 2004 Eberron campaign setting book from 3rd edition. Super fun stuff. I'll publish this. Once we finish our Eberron adventure, this will be the next thing I roll out for Eberron. And then once I do that, I can create infinite Eberron adventures. It's super fun. So I will, yep, we're going to put that away for now. We'll drop this off the map. And let's get back into our design. So let's see, how are we at on time? 7:30. I've still got an hour and a half. We're looking good over here. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Let's see. Okay, so this is the XP per level for character. Here is our different crew. Ooze abuse, ogre jelly, gray oozes. So these are low risk dungeon gunk encounters, random encounters, basically threats, hazards, and stuff like that. And here's moderate threats, and then here's high threats. And we have 3 factions. We have the Greenskins, which are ogres, orcs, ettins, and bugbears. Then we have the Lizard Cult, which are lizardmen, lizard shaman, and then we have a lizard-themed green hag. The green hag has a spectator as a familiar from being a worship of a great old one, and then it has 2 shadows, which are just weirdness that she has. Lizardfolk. Oh yeah, there's Grick. There's a Grick that's running around as well. So there's Grick allies. That's great. The Grick and the Spectator are weird, great old one blessings, and this team has them. So we'll get into that. And then there's the Undead, which are ghouls, ghasts, wights, and shadows. So I guess Shadow. Interesting there. You know what? I think it's. I don't think that's appropriate. I think that's appropriate. Okay, so looking at our dungeon map, because we have the mega dungeon that we've been building. So this is what we're looking at right now. Here's the entrance, outside world entrance. This is where the Greenskins are at. The Greenskins made their way across this bridge that overlooks the cavern, the underground cavern. So this is a constructed bridge that goes to the other side. On the other side, it was sealed. They broke the seal and stormed in to loot the place and found undead. There's stairs here that lead down and then lead down further. This was like a temple, right? And so this was the sacred temple. This first bit here was the general temple. Like commoners could come here, anyone, but the indoctrinated, the initiated that became priests, they go across the bridge and dwell in the temple of deeper learning. And then there's going downstairs, and then further downstairs takes you deeper into the organization. And there was a further expansion over here. This is a decent sized complex, but it was undead. It got undeaded at one point. So this whole level here is filled with undead. It was blocked off. I'm gonna hit that there, and then kick it another 20 minutes. So initially, when when they fled the temple, they sealed this double door here with wards to keep the undead sealed inside. The orcs broke the wards, and it ended up costing them their war shaman because the ghouls came out and killed them. So they retreated back to their shelter, back to the area that they had conquered, the open temple, and now they have a front against the undead across the bridge here. During the process of them going back in and fighting the undead back, because of course there's going to be good shit in there, it's worth the risk. They lost a number of orcs. So now the orcs that remain in the front of the temple is depleted to the point where a third level adventuring team could realistically kill all of them on a really good run. So the orcs are like, we need you to stop killing us. Like, the orcs have a problem. And the problem is that they lost at least half of their troops to ghouls that are across the bridge. Now there's humanoid, like weird, gangly human-like ghouls. And now there's also orc ghouls, including their shaman, who's going to be a ghast, or maybe even a white. So that'd be like the boss fight. They were battling their way through. Yeah, they lost troops, but they realized that there was another level underneath them. They didn't want to get cut off. Because they broke open, when they first came in, they broke this open to find out what was down there. There was a Lizardman tribe that's down in the underwater caverns there, and they sealed this off because of the undead threat long ago. This temple went down to the grotto, and I haven't built them yet, but the stairways that eventually lead down through the levels down here to the bottom. This is water. This was the water supply that this temple complex used to remain indoors but healthy as an ecosystem. So that got infected. The lizardmen eventually showed up from further underdark, found the undead, sealed up the stairway so that they could take on the level 4. Sorry, if this is level 1, the level 2 and 3 temples below, and still have access to the water caverns that they came through. They have a threat that they're running away from in the lower levels. So they found this grotto and like, we don't need to run. We can live right. Shit, undead. Okay, we took care of the undead, sealed that off. As long as you don't mess with the glyphs, everything's going to be okay. Damn it, the orcs broke the glyphs, and now the orcs are dead. Great, now our door is open. So there's 3 factions. There's the orcs that busted in to steal all the loot like your characters are, but the orcs got here first, fucked around and found out. Collected a lot of treasure for you. Almost enough for you guys to gain a level. You got a lot of loot you can get from the orcs. They gathered all the art and gems and treasure that they could find from the temple. Great. They got some of it from inside of here as well, but then they had to leave. So they closed off the doors, and they have a siege going on across the bridge here, where occasionally orcs, ghouls will come at them, and they'll have to either push them off the edges or burn them up or whatever. They'll have a defense set up here. But you go across the way while they were battling in here trying to loot this place, before they realized that they were going to lose the battle, they basically caved in this whole western wing of this facility. So there's a whole nother dungeon over here that will random up like these other ones that will drop in, and it'll just be all undead. And like be a Lich King is in there or whatever. But here is just the orc and external orc ghoul threat, like the initial shock troop, the grunts, that were then reinforced by killing more orcs. So the undead numbers are replenished. And then underneath that, in the stairway below, that got opened up. There's lizardmen down there that are trying to hold off an undead threat too. So the undead are in this area and prodding at going downstairs and prodding at crossing the bridge, but there's living things at both sides. So they're compelled to feed on them, so they're not giving up. They're just trying to pick at the defenses and find their way around. They will eventually. The team could strike a bargain with the orcs, the lizardmen, or both of them, but they're not going to be able to strike a bargain with the undead. So there's a lot of opportunity inside of this place for the players to pick a team, to get into fights. Like the first thing you're going to have to do when the team gets here is the door guard is an Etten, and with 5 orcs. That's a decent challenge. And once you kill the Etten, you're gonna have maybe the orcs will be willing to work with you, but you just fucking killed their siege engine. So it's like, oh, this is ugly. They couldn't take the Etten into the Etten can't fit in 5-foot spaces. It can only squeeze into 10-foot spaces. So the Etten can only get through the front door, and then it's basically stuck here. It can't go any further in. So it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's hanging out here, staying out of the sun, defending the area. If you can defeat the Etten and the orcs without alerting the rest of the facility, you've got a chance to skulk through the place and kill things. If one of the orcs gets away and alerts the rest of the place, by the time you end the Etten and reinforcements arrive, that's another battle you're going to have to fight your way through. And if they can push you out of here, out the front door, you're going to have to find a way to get back in too. Otherwise, their forces are too thin that you could kill them all. They'd put up a fight. Maybe they could get you, maybe not. Hard to say. But if you do, there's no defenses left to fight the undead, so the undead start coming across the bridge. And once they do, then you have to fight your way through the undead. And you can choose to either open up the tunnel here, and there's wards in here that keep the undead from being able to progress, so it stays caved in. But the team break the wards and decide to dig up the rocks, then they can go loot the actual temple, like the treasure shit that hasn't been touched yet, and have to fight a bunch of undead in the process. Or they could delve down into the lower levels where the lizardmen are, and things get more and more unnatural as you descend further down. That's the idea. So undead, lizard folk, greenskins, and then random undead, random just dungeon monsters. We're not going to give any kits of power to the random dungeon monsters. They're fine as they are. They are low risk threats meant to keep variety up between the 3 factions, so you don't at any particular time have too much of a threat. You don't have too much of the same engagement, so it doesn't become boring. But the other way that you prevent something from becoming boring is by diversifying what it is that how they engage the party. So we're going to now define I think I was building a random table here, but I'm going to stop doing that. We're going to add kits to each of these. So let's go back to our other document here, our playtest, same document. We're going to scroll down. Let's go find it. Oof, Arcane Archer's a good fucking pick. We're going to add one additional subclass from the reject list. We're gonna add one subclass back in. That actually would be a great Patreon poll. What a great idea to let my Patreons decide which subclass is going to be included in the Martial Powers book, and then the rest of them, the rest of the cast-off skins, we'll put them all in an expansion book that we can publish and bundle with the core mechanics book of the Martial Powers book. I like that a lot. So let's go. I want to scroll down. So yeah, keep an eye out for that if you're interested in voicing your opinion. You can join my Patreon, which is somewhere around here. There it is. Additional playtest content and articles on Patreon at Phil Kearney. You click that. It'll take you to my Patreon page. Welcome to my Patreon page. It's only $1. In December, I'm going to reorganize it. Sorry, hold on. As soon as I get to 500 subscribers, currently I'm at 485 subscribers. I believe when I get to 500 subscribers, I can start selling stuff. So the idea is for me to start posting stock art that I've created over the years. And then on my Patreon, if you're a $1 subscriber to my Patreon, you'll have a license to use all my stock art infinitely. As long as you remain subscribed to my Patreon, any stock art you get from me, you can use in any professional project as much as you want. I don't care. Have at it, but you're contributing $1. So if you buy a bunch of stock art from me, awesome, thank you. If you're planning on publishing a book this month, please be a subscriber to it when you do, so that we can see the publication date of the book and have that correspond with the records to make sure that you're compliant. Otherwise, you're out of compliance with the contract. But yeah, if you buy stock art, so I can start putting the stock art on Spotify or whatever. Is it? Not Spotify. Maybe it's Spotify. No, it's not Spotify. It's something. I don't remember the service. Anyway, I can build a market. I can build a marketplace store, and I can sell my stock art through the store, and then do the license on my Patreon, and so all the artwork that we're going to be doing in these books, like all the artwork from Light of Zaraxis, for example, all those assets I can put out as stock art. All the environment paintings that I do, I can put out stock art. Blah 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 blah. But I haven't organized that yet. And I've got a week off in December. This is a great opportunity for me. If I can get to 500 subscribers, if I'm right, and that marketplace opens up for me, I would now have a place to be able to present my stock art every day. Like here, you'd see like a rack of stock art. Like down here, there'd be like a row of stock art you could buy. And if you join my Patreon, you have infinite license to it. Interesting. So anyway, Bob's your uncle. Let's go back to the task at hand. So there's three things. There's two things I need to finish for the book. Mechanically, one, we're playtesting. That I just want to do some playtesting just to run things through. I'm really confident with how most of this stuff sits. I just want to see more of it in action before it goes, which is why I want to get playtesting going. Anyone that participates in my playtest, you get a free copy of the book. That's the deal. So I just need people to participate. So if you have any interest in this, please jump in my Discord and see if any of the dates that are available jive with what you want to do. Boy, oh boy, if I were to, God, now I'm really thinking about this. Drake Warden, Horizon Walker. Horizon Walker is a good pick. Monster Slayer, Swarm Keeper. Those are all really good. Class rebuilds. Let's get. We're too far south. Here's the Color Mana Hex Crawl system that we built. That was fun. We playtested that from level 3 to 6. That was super fucking effective. Really, really good. It's a good system. It wasn't concentrated enough. It was a hex crawl, so it was a little sparse. I wish I had and should have ran a mega dungeon from the start that just piled up monsters for people to mow through. I'm afraid that I burned interest in some of the previous playtesters because I think this is going to be. I learned a lot from this. I think this is going to be a much more fun experience this time if I can get people to play. So I lament that mistake, but I had to, I hadn't playtested something like this before. So when I playtest, I run an actual game, and just observe how the mechanics operate inside of the game. So I was just doing it like I normally would, just running a game. And I was thinking about doing a hex crawl as my next event, as my next campaign. So that's what I built, a hex crawl campaign toolkit. And I ran that, and it wasn't the right decision. I should have been more focused on like the actual mechanics and monster interaction. And so a mega dungeon where you don't even get experience points for fighting monsters, just the treasure, that's a great way to frame a combat focused playtest by having a stream of monsters that's practically endless that you will never gain a level off of. And then if you just have enough treasure in the dungeon that once you go to all the rooms and kill all the monsters, you've gotten enough treasure, then you get your level plus the amount of XP that you're supposed to get. That seems to be a better idea. So God's willing, I'll be able to rope some more folks back in to play again. So here we're looking at monster templates. Here are the different roles. Here are the different default kits of power each role has. And then you can create special, and then you can create unique creatures, like a unique kit. Like you have generic monsters, like maybe a generic brute, like the ogre brutes. Like for instance, we have 2 ogre brutes. So let's jump back into here, and we have 2 ogre brutes, and they literally have the title of brute, CR2 brutes. So we'll do it like that, CR2 brute. And if they're a solo monster, like you can go with these generic kits, and again, it's the level, not again, but again from 1,000 times before. But first time today, the CR of the creature determines their rank. Their rank determines what kind of an extra die they throw, when they would roll an extra die for whatever reason. The number of powers that they know. This is the maximum rank of power that they can know. And just off the cuff, here's the plus and minus. Like if it's a good roll, it's going to be a +3. If it's a bad roll, it's a -1. Plus whatever dice they're throwing. So that gives you just a general curve of how things work. So we're dealing with generally up to CR4. So we're dealing with first and second rank creatures that'll have 2 or 3 powers known. First rank has a D4, second rank adds a D6, but a second rank can add up to 2 D6. And that's right, a 5th rank creature can add up to 5 D12 to whatever it is they're doing. If they're dealing extra damage to you, or like they're hitting you with like a damage effect, it would be 5 D12 extra damage. If they are doing like an ability score boost, 6. Like let's say they're using a power that gives them advantage on their attack roll, and they can roll power dice to ramp up their attack bonus. They would roll 5 12-sided dice. They'd keep the best result, but I'd throw 5 of them. So the higher ranked character, the DM gets to throw just gobs of dice at characters all the time. It's kind of fun. It takes a little while longer. It is detailed, tactical combat at a grid scale that this is specifically built for. So it scratches a very tactical itch, and it makes really interesting use of action economy and being able to provoke attacks of opportunity on forced movement. So you can knock somebody away from you and get an attack of opportunity while you're at it. So this system really allows you can burn your action economy to gain free mana. And then there's a lot of ways you can trigger and freely, like you can use the same effect repeatedly on attacks, or as an action and a bonus action, or as a reaction. You can make reactions on your own round. You can provoke your own reactions. You can convert movement into mana. And some powers are activated just by moving. So there's different things that you can create your own action loop to deal with threats as you please. But it's all designed, in all reality, it's really designed to burn all of your action economy down to just doing one thing really good per turn. You can do all this other stuff, the action, like the multiple attacks, and the bonus action, and the reaction, and the movement, and blah, 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 blah. You've got a lot of little action components during a round of action. Or like a third level character, you can burn your bonus action to gain a point of mana. You can burn your movement. If you're already toe-to-toe with the monster you want to fight, you can burn a second point of mana to not move that round. And you get 2 attack, like at 5th level you'd have 2 attacks. So like, let's say we're talking 5th level, then you could burn one of your attack actions and have a single attack with 3 free points of mana that you can expend. And at 5th level, you can channel it to 2nd rank. So you'd have 3 mana to spend on 2nd rank or 1st rank powers. So if all you have to do is just stand there and hit something this turn, you can just dump a bunch of mana into making sure that happens. And now your round's over, and you did a really fucking cool thing. You blapped it. Maybe you punted it across the room. Next turn, you're going to use movement to get back up to it if it can't get to you. Blah, 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 blah. So when you build, when you're creating a unique monster, just either, like, you just don't like if the kits that we have here, like the generic kits, if they don't scratch in the itch, then you can just use this as a guideline to create your own creatures. And you could also treat a boss, like a big bad evil, like a boss fight, right? You can just build a custom power kit for them and give them bonus powers if you want, or make them a higher rank. Generally, it's nice if the big bad evil is a higher rank than its peer group, right? That's why it's the toughest, because it's a higher rank. Even if it's CR, wouldn't normally allow, like a CR, like Lizardmen or CR 1/2, right? They're only rank 1. A super powerful, advanced veteran Lizardfolk, for example, might only have a CR 1, and that's not any more powerful, even though he's considered, he's a 1 CR as opposed to a half CR. He's more powerful, but it's not significant enough to make him stand out. You can make him second rank instead. Or like you could have a goblin that's been in 1,000 fights, and it's just the toughest fucking goblin ever. You could roll 4d10 to add hit points to it. And even though the goblin is only, like, say, a CR1, I mean, adding hit points increases its CR automatically. But you could artificially take that 1/8 CR goblin and make it the equivalent of like a CR10 creature and have access to like all of the shit it can do. Just all sorts of crazy crap. So fun stuff. It's playing with powers. So we're applying these kits to our monsters. So let's go and... Thank you, Timely Timer. Now that I've walked through all that intro stuff, here are the types, the generic roles of that monsters can play. And let's start corresponding them with what we have. So Greenskin Patrol Veteran would have the Soldier role. CR3 Soldiers. Orcs, CR2. You know what? Let's call these soldiers. And instead, let's make the veteran. It's a greenskin veteran, like a bugbear or a hobgoblin or something. Let's look at controller. What does the controller do? Melee controller. Sentinel, close quarter combat. Restraining strike. Extended reach. Provoking strike. Fucking sleeper hold with restraining strike and close quarter combat. God, that's sick. Let's look at its. Let's look at the more. The more sorceress sort, for lack of a better word. Let's see. Distract, Shunt, Lethargy, Daunting Presence, Anchor, Teleconnect, Bubble. We would be at with the veteran. The veteran is what? CR3. CR3 is second rank. Second rank, it's 3 things. Range control, so it would have Distract, which gives the target disadvantage on attacks. Shunt, which pushes a target, multiple targets, wherever you want them to go. And then second rank, Lethargy. And Lethargy is, it takes away action economy from the target until they can succeed a saving throw. As opposed to being a grappler. And being a weapon grappler isn't bad, but I think the range control is better. Let's call it control. R control. And then we have the Bugbear Militia. Orcs. Again, orcs are soldiers. The Bugbear. Bugbear Militia. What role do we want the Bugbear to have? How about artillery? Crossbow Expert. Sharpshooter. What CR is it? CR1. So, yeah, it's a sharpshooter. and crossbow expert. So yeah, I'll go with that. And let's stick with this theme here. Etten Siege Brute. 1 Etten. CR4. CR4 I think is second rank. Yeah, still second rank. Etten Brute makes a lot of sense. Skirmisher. Let's make the Etten solo. Let's make him a solo. Yeah, we're gonna build. We'll do a custom build for that in solo, and then the orcs are soldiers. Let's look at what the soldier stuff does. Melee lurker, soldier, coordinated attack, coordinated dash, and allied assault. These are all basically give your ally use a reaction to make an attack. So if one of the orcs uses coordinated attack as a maneuver, which is a bonus action, the rest of the squad that's within reach of that target can make an opportunity attack. Coordinated dash. One orc issues the command, and the troops can all use a reaction to move. And they only have one reaction apiece. So you can do one or the other, but it's easy. It makes it easy for them to be able to fall back, advance, or just mob somebody if they need to. And then allied assault is you give your ally advantage, and you roll a power die and they get a bonus to their attack roll equal to whatever that is. So that's really strong. That's really, really good stuff for soldiers. Coordinated attack and coordinated dash is all they get though. So once per round they can pick one target and just absolutely murder that person. Otherwise they have one attack each. Bugbear Chief. CR3 is also second rank. Let's make him a solo. And then Bugbear 1. We have bugbears in here already? Yeah, let's give him artillery. And then the orcs are soldier. Cool. That takes care of those. Let's go with the coal. Oh, wait. We got to build out. We need to build out the bugbear and the Etten. So, there. And then let's go look at the bugbear. I know it's going to change for 2024, but in the meantime. Hey, oh, Bugbear Chief right there, y'all. Oof, this guy's tough. +2, +6, +3. Proc bonus is +2. How's that jive with our table? +5 and +1. Not too far off. Brute. A melee weapon deals 1 extra die of damage when the bugbear hits with it, included in the attack damage below. Heart of Urgrug. The bugbear has advantage on saving throws against being charmed, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, stunned, or put to sleep. Surprise attack. If the bugbear surprises a creature and hits it with an attack during the first round of combat, the target takes an extra 2d6 damage from the attack. Morning Star. 2d8. Javelin. Is it melee attack only? Melee weapon. Deals an extra die. Cool. How's your armor class? 17. Okay. So 3rd level characters, +3, 3 + 2, 5. So they're going to have to roll 12 or above. Probably have advantage, which means they only have to roll like an 8 or above. I'm okay with that. I want them hitting more often than missing. That's great. Okay, cool. So that guy's tough. He deals extra damage. He gets advantage on a save, and he has some sneak attack going for him. And then let's look at the let's do the Bugbear Chief first, since we're here. I love building kits, man. I tell you what, 3rd edition was the absolute favorite edition for so many people because it was a deck building game. The depth of character design that was capable in 3rd edition, or the original Pathfinder even, is so much more than what you can do in 5th edition. Like, just the idea of prestige classes and the way that their multi-classing worked with it was just infinite combinations. It was so fucking cool. I like 5e, but I have great nostalgia for how powerful of just how compelling a game 3rd edition really was. God, it was so revolutionary. It was, it's Wizards of the Coast, right? Go figure. The company that invented the trading card game created a deck building game for D&D. I mean, it just makes sense. It's obvious. It's so obvious. I love it. I just fucking love it. So what's some cool stuff that you get to do here, Beppo? Bugbear seems like the kind of guy that's going to want to wade in on stuff. Anticipate is a great reaction. React, anticipate. Whenever you make an attack, anticipate lets them make an attack against you first. And if I want to pump mana into it, I get extra dice to hit you with. Kicker, yeah, here it is. Anticipate. As a reaction to when a creature within range of your weapon attack that you can see makes an attack, before they roll to hit you, make an opportunity attack. Before they roll to hit, make an opportunity attack. There you go. Kicker, roll 1 power die per mana spent this way, adding the highest result to the attack roll. You restore if the attack misses. If the attack misses, restore the kicker mana to your pool. So you only spend this extra mana in the kicker if you are successful in hitting. If you miss, you keep the mana. You just get it back. That's a great reaction. I like having that. I can only go with 1st and 2nd rank stuff. So what's something else? Repositioning strike. Your weapon damage increases by 1 power die per mana channel, and you can move 5 feet per mana channeled. This movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. Hold on. What's the combat mastery let you do? Step. When you hit a target, you can move 5 feet without provoking opportunity attacks. Okay. Yeah. That's how I wanted to do it. So you can channel at 17th level. You can channel 5 mana. Step. What's it called? Repositioning strike. That would allow me to move 25 feet as part of that attack action without provoking opportunity attacks. I love that. That's super fun. But it's worth. That's worth the mana, man. It's worth it. Woo, giant growth. Size large. Love it. That takes us from 2d8. Let's see. While this power is sustained, giant growth, 2 mana. While this power is sustained with 2 mana, you can increase your size to large along with equipment you carry. While the power is sustained with 4 mana, this isn't a kicker, this is just a different use of it. While this power is sustained with 4 mana, your size increases instead to huge. The table below summarizes the changes in size and other benefits to change. The other benefits to changing size. So 2 mana, you're now size large. You occupy a 2x2 space instead of 5x5. Your weight increases by 8. Your reach increases by 5. And you get 1 additional power die damage when you roll damage and bonus to strength ability checks. Melee weapon attacks. When huge, add both dice. When huge, add the higher power die result to your ability check. So you always get bonuses to your strength checks while you're giant growth. And you always deal extra damage. So that 2d8 plus 3 damage that we see from the Morning Star, that's going to upgrade to 2d8 plus an automatic d6. And then if we have a strike power that we add in on top of it, it could be up to an extra 2d6 on top of that, which is going to be really fucking brutal. That's gonna hit hard, man. That is going to hurt. Let's see. Yeah, giant growth was a really good one. I like that. Tired. Ooh, sweeping strike. Now your ability to damage increases by 1 power die per mana burn, which is 2. So 2 extra 2d6 damage, and you can choose a second creature within 5 feet of the original target and within reach of within your reach to attack with the same roll. If the attack also hits the second target, it takes the same amount and type of damage rolled on the power dice. There you go. It's like a power cleave. It's not a bad one. Life stealing strike is also pretty good. You get deal radiant damage. You get temporary hit points equal to the total of the power dice that you rolled. Sweeping strike feels pretty good though. Yeah. Yeah. There. Not bad. Anticipate it hits you if you try to hit him. He hits you first. He's huge, so he's got the reach on you. And sweeping strike. If he hits you and there's somebody standing next to you, he can hit them too. And let's go to the elite Etten. Etten. That's only large. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, +4. +4, -1. Yeah, not bad. Okay, traits. 2 heads. The Etten has advantage on wisdom perception checks and on saving throws against being blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, stunned, and knocked unconscious. Wakeful. When one of the Etten heads is asleep, its other head is awake. Battle Axe. Morning Star. Multi-attack. 2 attacks. One with his battle axe and one with his Morning Star. Chop and bonk. Oh, piercing. That's right. Spiky. Chop and stick. +7. It's 2d8 +5. 2d8 +5. And it'll be an extra +2d6 on top of it. This Etten is going to be very, very dangerous. Great first encounter. Let's give it extra reach. Extended reach. Overrun, abundant step. I know you're gonna hear some more. Did I make that a sustained power? I may have. Extended reach. Your reach increases by 5 feet per point of mana sustained this way. And that in his second rank, it's an extra 10 feet. He's already large. He's got a 20 fucking foot reach with his axe. That's crazy. Sus. Two more. What else you got? What you got? Thundering Strike is a great one for this guy. And what else? Gotta have a reaction of some sort. Well, he's got the opportunity. He gets the opportunity. He gets 2 opportunity attacks because of 2 heads. And when somebody gets batted out of reach, that gives them opportunity attack. So if he punts you away, he gets to hit you twice. Whew. Wow, that's nasty. What else you got? As a reaction to when a creature within reach of your melee weapon that you can see hits another creature with an attack, you can redirect the attack to target another creature you can see within reach of that attack using the same attack roll. We're gonna save that. We're gonna save that for the Lizardmen. Thank you, Tommy Timer. As a reaction to an enemy you can see within range, your weapon attack becomes prone. You can make an opportunity attack against them. I think it should do. I've got Thundering Strike to punt you away. Faint. No. 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 All that stuff's too smart. Target creature you can see makes a con save. If it fails, it can do only one of the following: move or take an action or a bonus action. Banish, shunt. Target a number of creatures equal to the amount of mana expended that are within 10 feet and up to one size larger than you, equal and up to one size larger than you, to make or be pushed up to 10 feet. Hold on, I gotta check the language on extended reach. There's something wonky about it. Your reach increases by 5 feet. There, you can increase your reach by 5 feet. You don't have to. You don't draw attacks of opportunity until something leaves your reach. If I'm artificially increasing my reach 10 feet, it automatically pushes back the distance I can push something to hit them. If I do it this way, you can extend your reach by 5 feet per point of mana. I get an extra 10 feet. That Eden has 20 feet worth of reach if it wants. So 10 feet, it pushes it away. It can use an opportunity attack to hit you as you leave its area. 2 of them, in fact, because each head of the Etten gets a reaction. Because I say so. I don't think it's actually in the stats, but I love that. And then you'll still be within its reach, which it would then be able to, because it could then extend its reach and still hit you, even though you were just outside of it, you're back inside of it now because it's decided to extend its reach to be able to hit you. I love that. That's super cool. Change approved. Extended reach, 10 feet. Thundering Strike. It's an extra 2d6, and it'll push you up to 20 feet away. Maybe we need another. We can't have another sustained power because it's already full. No, it's not full. It only has 2 mana that's sustaining for that. It has 1 mana left over. So let's see. No, it's sustaining 2. That's right. It's done. But I need another thing. Oh, but it's got 2 attacks per round, 1 of each. So each one can channel powers. Holy shit, that's fun. Oof, man. What masteries are intrinsic to Battle Axe and Morningstar? That's gonna be an answer to what's next. Game rules, sources, Player's Handbook. Thank you. Weapons. Battle Axe and Mace. Morningstar. Is that right? Yeah, Morningstar. Piercing. Battle Axe is Topple. Perfect. And Morningstar is Sap. So I can Thundering Strike and then Topple with the Battle Axe. Downtrodding's reaction, which gives you an opportunity to attack whenever something gets knocked prone. So I can Thundering Strike you, you get pushed away, I get my opportunity attack, I then prone you, I topple you, and with the topple, that triggers the opportunity attack for the other hand to then bap you with a Thundering Strike with advantage to punt you another 10 feet. So total of 10, 20, 30 feet. You get punched a total of 30 feet away from the Etten. You're not going to have to get up, just half your movement, and then walk back over to the Etten, which isn't going to be far enough to reach them in one round. Oh god, that's vicious. This guy's just going to be bouncing somebody. That's sick. Let's go with the Lizard Shaman. That's going to be a solo. I know that right off the cuff. Lizardmen. How are we doing Lizardmen? What kind of, I don't want to make them soldiers. I feel like I want to make them lurkers. Or, ooh, skirmishers maybe. Let's look at skirmishers and lurkers. Let's see if I like one more than the other. I think it's going to be skirmisher. Wow, look at that shit. Fucking teleporters. Yeah, no. Let's look at Lurker instead. Poisoner, that's great. Rogue Stance, I'm good with that. Vanish turns invisible. Jesus, it's camouflage. They just have camouflage. There you go. And then ranged Lurker. Sharpshooter, subtle channeling so you don't notice them. Precise Strike. You get a bonus to attacks. Jesus, that's really good. That's not bad. Sharpshooter, advantage, super advantage. God, that feat is good. Poisoner, Rogue Stance. Yes, yeah, we're doing melee lurkers on these guys. That's too cool. Oh, he doesn't get Vanish. He gets Poisoner and Rogue Stance. I'm good with that. Yeah. Like, if your team picks up that these guys are doing a shitload of poison damage, maybe you retreat and pick up resistance to poison. Grick I'm interested in. That's going to be cool. Spectator, also super cool. I bet a Spectator is a controller. Holy shit. That's going to be a solo. I think the Spectator is going to be a controller. Let's go check out controllers real quick, because that just seems like it feels right. Grick. This is going to be a range controller. Spectator CR3, so that's second rank. Distract, Shunt, Lethargy. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Range Lurker. No, range controller. Let's look at what the Spectator does, because doing these things is fun as fuck. That Ettin's gonna be brutal, dude. So fun. Grick. Oh yeah. Oh, it's super dumb. Never mind. What does it do? Stone camouflage. Makes one attack with its tentacles. Tentacles, a little bit of damage. Beak, a little bit of damage. Let's do okay, this should be Grick should be melee control. It has the grappler. That's super fun. And let's go look at the Spectator. And then we'll look at the two forms of controller together. Excuse me. Holy Hannah. Spectator. Baby Beholder. Eye rays. The Spectator shoots up to 2 of the following magic rays at 1 or 2 targets. You can use each ray only once per turn. Reaction. Spell reflection. If the Spectator makes a saving throw against a spell or a spell attack misses it, the Spectator can choose another creature. It can see within 30 feet. The spell targets that creature instead. Create food and water. The Spectator magically creates enough food and water to sustain itself for 24 hours. Cool. Wounding Ray. 3d10. Fear Ray. Booga Booga. Paralyzing Ray. Hold person. Confusion Ray. Run around. Can't take reactions. Can't move. And it uses its actions to make a melee attack or a ranged attack against a randomly determined creature within range. The target can't attack. It does nothing on its turn. Cheers. Yeah. So let's look at our controller options, because that feels really good. Melee control, Grit, Sentinel. So if you try to move it, it shuts you down. And close quarter combat, it can grapple you and deal extra damage, and it hurts you. It gets opportunity to attack against you when you break its grapple. For the spectator, it has its Eyes of Doom, plus it can distract you, give you disadvantage, shunt you to push you around, and Lethargy to further drain your action economy. Love it! And dot 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 dot. Yeah, okay. Whites, shadows, marker. Ghouls, ghasts, whites. Ghouls and ghasts. Let's check these dudes out. Ghast. Stench. Must succeed on a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or be poisoned. Turning Defiance. Action Bite. Claw. Con save or paralyzed. Good. Ghast paralyzes. And marker. See, ghouls. You know what? I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna make the shadows melee skirmishers. Abundant step for movement. Rogue stance. Overrun to deal damage automatically. Oh yeah, you don't get that. I'm good with that. Let's go to the white. No, let's do ghouls first. Claw bite. Insatiable hunger for human flesh. Sometimes infuses a ghoul with stronger dose of abyssal energy, making it a ghast. However, ghouls are little more than savage beasts. A ghast is cunning and can inspire a pack of ghouls to follow its commands. Ghouls trace their origins to the abyss. Huh. Well, I thought ghouls and ghasts made more ghouls when they killed shit. I'm not seeing that. Yeah, I'm gonna say it creates you undead. It doesn't say it here, but I like that. So, Ghoul, choose on stuff. What are you gonna do, buddy? What are you gonna do? Lurker. Troller. Life-stealing strike sounds just delicious. Huh. Death resistance. Power shield. Don't save. I'm missing something. Brute. Yeah, I'm missing one. What's another brutish power? Roll with the hit. Yeah, it should be a reaction, right? First rank. Brute. Brute thick. Brute no hurt. Rush tax, roll 5. We're gonna go with Flatten. Choose a creature you can see. It takes 1 power die per mana force damage. It makes a strength saving throw against being knocked prone. Add highest power die. Nah, I don't want to do that. Brute. Adaptive resistance is smart. Kicker, crouching stance, direct impact, powered ability, instant skill, extended reach, fast, power armor, ranged assault, rogue stance, subtle channeling, trap springer. Dire impact. Sustains power, you can add 1 plus your max rank of power to your weapon damage rolls. In addition, when you roll 1 or more power dice to deal damage, any power die that rolls below your max rank of power increases the result of that roll to equal your max rank of power. So first level character has a 1. So 1 plus your max rank of power. In addition, when you roll 1 of your power dice to deal damage, any power die roll that's below your max rank of power increases the result. So you don't get anything at first level. So at first level, your minimum power level is 1. This isn't going to do anything for you. But at second level, it can only be a 2 on a D6. Ninth level, it's a 3 on a D8. At level 13, it's a 4 on a D10. And at level 17, at level 17, it's a D10. It's a 4 on a D10. And if you are a Battle Master, Monk, or Ranger, it's a at 20th level, it's a D12, 5 out of D12. There you go. So dire impact, not bad. And these are second rank, so they can't roll below a 2. That's a goodbye. Goodbye. Dire impact. There we go. Good. I love that. Ghoul. Ghoul CR1. I'm fine with Brute. I'm fine with you being a Brute. Hard to kill. 2 whites. Holy Hannah. Ghasts are tough. 1 Ghast, Master Blast, rule bar to town. What's up with you, White? Let's check you out. And this will be the last monster we have to worry about for right now. We'll throw in another dungeon and then we'll probably be done for the night. 9:30, yeah. Now, yeah, this is gonna... we're supposed to get the magic gear, so we can at least look at that and continue with that tomorrow at lunch. Nice. We'll be back tomorrow morning to continue working on an Eberron adventure. And we'll be back tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock Seattle time, or 5 o'clock East Coast time. And we will work specifically on magic items that day. I want to look at sockets in different magic items. I want to look at and then rebuilding examples of power items. So let's see. Oh yeah, we're looking at the white. White. Life Trainer. Humanoid slain by this attack rises 24 hours later as a zombie under the white's control. Unless the humanoid is restored to life or its body is destroyed, the white can have no more than 12 zombies under its control at a time. I'm changing that to ghoul. Intelligence. Average. There's 2 of them, huh? That'd be 1100. I'm gonna go with what do I want you guys to be? Why am I choking on this? Ooh, artillery. Second rank, range assault. It still exists, right? We didn't change that up. Yeah, range assault. While sustaining this power, you gain the following abilities. You can use, when using a strike power with a ranged weapon, increase the size of the power die by 1. Normally, ranged weapons, you can use them with powers up to 60 feet away. Yeah, they're effective up to 60 feet away unless you take ranged assault. You can create temporary non-magical weapons or ammunition for ranged weapons of your choice while making a thrown or ranged attack, which disappears at the end or miss. 2 things we need to do. 1, make sure our rules are reflecting this. This includes, let's see, martial powers. If a power has a listed range or area of effect, you only need to see or an obstructed creature or location within the range to target it. Martial powers have a range of 60 feet unless the description indicates otherwise. This includes ranged and thrown weapons. Longer range. Okay, cool. And then let's go down to the ranger. prey. No, it's the fighting style. Druid warrior, dual weapon, dual wielding, range prowess. Starting at 6th level. When you use powers with a ranged weapon, your power die size is not reduced. Starting at 6th level, attacking with a ranged weapon while enemies within 5 feet no longer causes disadvantage on the attack rolls. So at 10th level as a ranger, you can make opportunity attacks with thrown and ranged weapons against targets within 10 feet, as though you are wielding a melee weapon with the reach property. Yeah, I like that. Ranged assault still has a use with the ranger. The Rangers is getting completely different things with it, so they overlap. They don't overlap at all. What's going on? My phone's blowing up. Hold on. Cool. Let's see. Dual wielding race. Yeah, that's good. Megadungeon. So I was addressing the white as a artillery character. Yeah, that feels like the right thing to do. Range assault gets it, so it gets to make ammo and uses the normal D6 instead of a D4. And crossbow expert. Okay, cool. You know, that's great. Range assault. Yep. Undead, Flaming Skull, solo, artillery. Bam! All right. That fills out our group of monsters. I could give all these critters secret things, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna leave them be. Let's see. That's good. So we're going to take this and let's fold it into the document here. Let's crack open ye old dungeon. I already have a sense. Let's see. Let's go to dungeon level 3. Party size 4. Motif. Sure. Underdark. No, wait. Abandoned. Dungeon size is tiny. No, it's fine. Rectangle. Periphery egress. Yes. Stairs. Yes. Remove dead ends. All corridors, errant doors, standard polymorph rooms. Yes. Room sizes medium. Scattered. Yes. Egresses. And let's change up the seed. 1, 2, 3. 2. There. Okay, let's construct a dungeon. You know what? Nah. I don't like that one. see. Dungeon is fine. Dungeon layout. Room density needs to be thinner. Sparse room size needs to be large. Yeah, let's try that. Not like this. Not like this. Not like this. Let's go with small rooms. Uppy downsy. Exit. Stairs down. Yeah, I think I'm good with this room. Image, let's do some downloads. Download map. Download players map. HTML page. I'm going to take this and drop this down. Be like that. Let's take this. And let's build out a room. This is going to be where the lizardmen start, but they're going to have this a lot more of this level, and then further down again on top of it, so or below it. Correct. There we go. Just like that. What else we got? Let's grab this bit. Let's cut that and paste it. And bring this down a bit here. I see you. Do that. Like this. Hidden stairs leading down, do you dare? do that. Alright, that's my 9 o'clock. I'm going to be bouncing out of here in a few minutes. Let's just make sure I get... Let's do like that. And then one, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that looks more elegant. Stairs leading down through a hidden passage. Hidden stairs down. Hidden door to access this region. Like that. One, two, three, four, five, six. Egress. Yeah, there's zero chance the team's going to be able to get this deep into the temple in one session. They're only 3-hour sessions. They're going to get through the orcs and start fighting undead, probably. This is egress off the map. Stairs up, stairs down, very linear. Yeah, I like that. Cool. Fill in all the gaps real quick, and then we'll be done for the day. We're going to come back. I didn't get the magic items going like I said I was going to today. What's new? We'll do that at lunch tomorrow instead. That'll be a good chunk of opportunity for us to build out some cool looking gear. And then we'll be pretty much ready to go. I can BS my way through a fucking mega dungeon. Now that I know what's in it, what they can do, and what the general story of what's going on here is, I could run this for probably 3 months. Maybe I need to add a couple extra dungeons in. You know, I mean, I need to add more dungeon content. We're going to be building the undead that are trapped. Upstairs, we'll build that out as a 4th level. Actually, we're going to make that 5th level. And we're going to leave this 3rd level cordoned off area on the top dungeon to the left, that is going to be 5th level. This will be 3rd level, but egress off of here will be 4th level, and going down these stairs will be 4th level as well. And then it'll lead down to the grotto, and the grotto will be 5th level, as is the Lich King's Lair. That's what I'm calling it, the Lich King's Lair. That in. There. That's our next dungeon. Cool, that's it for now. We're going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to build color mana magic items and update the tables accordingly. That'll be lunch tomorrow morning for our coffee morning stream. We'll do more Eberron page layout artwork, and then on Saturday, if we somehow have enough people on board for a Saturday playtest. We only have one that's volunteered so far. I need 5 to keep a campaign stable. So if by some miracle we have 5 people signed up for Saturday, then we'll do a session 0 to make sure everybody's on page and has their character built. And if that doesn't turn out to be the case, then we will probably work on Spelljammer subclasses. And then Monday night, if we have 2 people that are signed up for Monday right now. If we happen to get up to 5, we'll do our session 0 for Monday night playtesting. Otherwise, we'll come back on and maybe we'll work on Warlocks. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. We'll do something. Backgrounds. We'll update the Ravnica, Theros, and Strixhaven backgrounds for using the 2024 mechanics. That's what we'll do. That's important. So we'll probably do that. We'll do that on Saturday. Yeah. All right. That's it for now, guys. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys being here. If you're interested in the Martial Power System, please do sign up for the playtesting. It's free. You get a free copy of the book when it's done. It's either going to be on a Monday night or a Saturday afternoon. I'd love to have you, and be welcome to ask anything. Check the description down below for links to all my books, the Discord channel, my Patreon if you want to participate there. I'll see you all in the future. Thanks a lot.